What's good, Gooners? Morning after the Leeds win, and I guess we can take a few things from that game, which we specifically have been asking ourselves over a time. The most important is this on the menu? Is this a change of culture? Is what we're doing working? Listen, I said at halftime that this is the best thing that could happen to us for a team to just come out and bull rush us, try to bull rush us into submission, because that's what Leeds did as far as tactics goes. And the fact that Arteta watched enough film and identified the threat and said to the players, this team is man to man. They will cover you all over the pitch. You will have no space. So you're going to have to work twice as hard as you normally would have to in a normal game to try and create some sort of possession. The team didn't listen. Arteta was furious going into halftime, to say the least. And we all know what happened. It's come out on social media. He himself said after the game, I was angry at the players. Yeah? Made a joke on Twitter by saying the players must have got in there. He looked at them and said, nobody move, nobody get hurt. He was just straight up and direct with the players, and he was not having it. Now, this brings a few questions to the end of the Wenger era and the Unai Emery era. At some point, when the players are getting managers sacked and managers losing their jobs, at what point do you put the onus on the players if the team keeps on failing? Regardless of what the manager does at his end, the players have to take onuses and responsibilities for their performance. And last night, what you saw at half-time was players taking accountability. They realised what Arteta was telling them they weren't doing. And the second half, it was pure fix-up. To see how hard they came out and how hard they worked, it was a complete reversal. We looked at the stats. In the first half, Leeds had 15 shots, Arsenal had 3. It was absolutely switched in the second half. Arsenal had 13 shots, Leeds had 3. And it was a polar opposite. And I did state after the game when I said that in Man United and Chelsea, that we came out hard, we came out direct. And in this game, we didn't, but then we filled that in the second half where we came in hard and direct. And that's sort of like most of the Arsenal performances under Unai Emery, where we just didn't come out in the first half, and in the second half, we did come out and play. But this has got really more to do with the expectations and the culture. And if anybody had any questions about whether we were getting Pep Light or we were getting a Pep clone or we was getting some kind of follow over from Manchester City, then fear no more. Because last night proved that those philosophies that were at Manchester City are seeping their way through into Arsenal. Now, I'm not saying that we are the new Manchester City. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that the culture and the philosophies are seeping their way into Arsenal. They are starting to take over from what was one of the laziest teams off the ball that I had ever seen. As far as I have been concerned, and I've said so for the past year, Arsenal are one of the best teams on the ball and one of the worst teams off it. And Arteta has clearly identified that fact. And what you're seeing is players not only coming off the pitch at full time knackered, yeah, the likes of our defenders, David Luiz, Socrates, our forward players, Ozil, Lacazette. These players are beat when they're coming off the pitch after a game. But big shout out to Tony Cox. Tony Cox has sent me a message, and it stipulated that the players themselves have been saying that practice, yeah, not the games, but practice and training are absolutely exhausting. Yeah, that just goes to set a precedence of what Arteta expects. He expects this team to put in the work. And if they're not going to do that, he'll bring in players that will. And that's another thing as well, identifying these kind of players in the transfer market. That will be the kind of talent that you're looking for. That would be the kind of acceptance of what type of player you're looking for. It would be those players that are working hard off the ball and who are preparing to backtrack and put in a tackle. There's a reason why Reece Nelson has been having so much playing time recently. And I talked about this before everyone was talking about Pepe can't get in the team. I think it was 2 videos ago. I said that, look, guys, we're talking about why ain't Pepe in there. And Pepe, as far as delivering an impact, there's no one better, outside of the front strikers. There's no one better in terms of what he's been able to do with assists and goals. But there's a reason why he can't get in a team in front of Reece Nelson. And that has something to do with what happens at practice. And it's clear now from what we've heard over the last 24 hours that that is exactly the reason why Reece Nelson is in the team. Pepe has been struggling to hold down that spot. Now look, the rest is on Pepe, and the rest is on Sacco and Martinelli and Smith Rowe and Klasnach and all those players who are trying to get into the first 11. It's on you. The bar has been set, and unlike Unai Emery and Arsene Wenger, Arteta is challenging the players to meet that expectations, to meet that bar. And if you don't meet that bar, you're going to be on the bench. It's a clear message. Put in the work and you will get your just rewards. And, it's funny because Aubameyang has played with some fantastic coaches. More so, Jurgen Klopp at Borussia Dortmund. And he knows what good looks like. Aubameyang came out and said now that he wants to stay at Arsenal and that he's happy to be a part of what's going on as captain. So here's a few things there. As long as you keep the guy captain, then he's going to be staying. We've seen that play out many times before at the club. But it does mean that he's serious about staying. And I don't know whether he'll sign a new contract. That really comes down to what happens this season, whether we win the Europa Cup or whether we make top 4. I think that would be the icing on the cake for Aubameyang. But as far as the league goes, I think they've written off the league. Top 4, unless Chelsea has a nosedive, then I don't really see that happening. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But it's good commitment from the captain, and that rolls downhill. So I'm guessing that you'll be able to see more commitment probably from other players. But overall, guys, I think this is really positive. And coming off last night, listen, these are 3 games where we've put in the work to win, and it's going to be tough. It's an uphill battle for Arsenal, yeah? The way this team is at the moment now, we're going to have to work twice as hard to get a result. We've had a fantastic game against Chelsea, we lost. We've now had 2 back-to-back wins and 2 clean sheets. God knows when the last time that happened. So there's a lot of positivity on the horizon, but the question is can they maintain this? Can they maintain this type of commitment to the cause? And that's where we would be able to stamp down that this is a change of culture. And that's really all it is. That's really what last night has come from. This Leeds team is going to give a lot of Premiership teams problems. I don't care what anybody says, yeah? With the manager that they got, they're going to give quite a lot of Premiership teams problems. And I think that this is only going to elevate how important it is for Arsenal to start climbing up the table. It's not going to be easy. And over the years, we've heard Arsenal fans, privileged Arsenal fans, saying, yeah, we should be in the top 4. We should challenge for the title. We should, and all those things are just, it's really naive, because what you're doing is you're not actually telling yourself how hard this league is to compete in. This league is tough. Any of the players and any of the managers will tell you the Premiership's the hardest league in the world. And we have been complacent. That's it. We have been complacent. We've taken it too easy. We've not taken it serious enough. And right now we're in a hole. And we're still in a hole. And it will take what Arteta's doing to fix what's going on. And I'm really happy that the front office came back to him. And they had spoken to other managers, but they had given him the keys to the car because they believed in his profile. They believed in his philosophies. And we're starting to see that he is not willing to accept failure. He won't. Arteta will not suffer fools. And in that respect, we have to move on forward. I really like the support from you guys. Please subscribe to the channel. And if you like what I'm saying, click that bell so you get the notifications of when my videos are dropping. And peace out. Big up Gooner Nation. Big up 101. Big up Gooner Squad. And listen, right back at you, man. Let's move on. More wins, more hard work, and more success. Peace.